Hello and welcome to a brand new video. This time we're in Digital Combat Simulator, DCS. All my videos before have been in Microsoft Flight Simulator, and I like to think that Microsoft Flight Simulator, as good a simulator that it is more of a civilian simulator. It does simulating of GA aircraft, airliners, a vast multitude of aircraft very, very well. However, like I say, it's more for civilian-esque simulation. DCS is different. DCS is a combat simulator. Before you see the mighty FA-18 Hornet of VMFA 312 from the United States Marine Corps. And this is a very, very accurate rendition of the F-18 Hornet. This Hornet, or this simulator, being a combat simulator, is capable of simulating all the combat roles of many aircraft, including the F-18 Hornet. However, today we're not going to be doing any combat, we're just going to be steadily working our way up to deploying air-to-ground ordnance, maybe air-to-air ordnance, strafing, all those kind of stuff with weapons. But like I say, today's going to be a little bit different. So let's jump into the cockpit and we'll get on with the video. Okay, welcome back to DCS and welcome to the cockpit of the F-18 Hornet. Or even the FA-18 Hornet. How many times am I going to say F-18 Hornet? Right, as I said in the start of the video, this is a very accurate rendition of the Hornet. All the buttons you see here are, well, they work. So everything about, well, I would say 95%, 98% of everything that I can see here and everything that I can touch will do something. Now, Microsoft Flight Simulator, like I say, does civilian aircraft very well. DCS is a combat simulator. This is another level of combat simulation, something that Flight Simulator cannot do and really doesn't aim to do. So what we're going to do today? Well, you see before you Nellis Air Force Base out in Las Vegas. In fact, Las Vegas is somewhere over there. You can see some of the buildings just behind the green trees there. Anyway, today's flight we're going to be taking off, and we're going to be heading off behind the mountain range over there and heading over to one of my favourite little flights. We're going to do a little bit of a canyon run, and then we're going to come back to Nellis, and hopefully everything's going to be just tickety-boo. So let's just check that everything is working. So yes, controls all work. Throttle and brakes work. So let's roll out of our little parked area and let's start the fun. Always do a brake check. Let's face it, when you're going down the runway, the last thing that's going to stop you will be the brakes. Now, this is not going to be a realistic Hornet sortie like my Flight Simulator videos. They're not totally realistic, obviously, but I do try to make them a little bit, well, as realistic as I possibly can. So we're going to set our altimeter warning down to, let's go for 350 feet. Flaps are in half and set half. Don't need to do anything else. So, ejection seat is set. We'll set the head-mounted display, which now means I can do that and see what's going on. And we're going to roll on to runway 03R. And if I remember correctly, we'll be landing on this runway as well. It's clear on the left, clear on the right. Just making sure that everything is where I want it to be. Okay. Brakes set, 50% throttle. Brakes off, let's go. Gear coming up, flap set up, little roll on takeoff, coming out of burner, and we're going to start our climb. Passing 3,500 feet. Clear for the range. And there we go. Nice simple takeoff. Now, like I said in the start of this video, DCS is a combat simulator. So all those hard points you see there can and will hold all the ordnance that the FA-18 Hornet in real life can actually hold. And you can fight this aircraft. Now, obviously, I will work my way up to doing what the Hornet can actually do in real life. We will be doing strafing videos, deploying air-to-ground ordnance on targets, and we're also going to try and work up a display routine in possibly the F-18 Hornet. I do have other aircraft to use in DCS, including the F-16, the F-14, the F-15, MiG-29, Su-27. I actually don't have the list in front of me. I have pretty much all the pay-wear aircraft, bar maybe a couple, maybe three. We also do have some World War II aircraft, including the Spitfire, Mustang, Mosquito. And yeah, as a simulation goes, it's a very realistic rendition of those aircraft. i.e. the Warbirds are absolutely nightmares to fly. So, today's flight, out just about where my crosshair is the start of the canyon. We're going to fly in over a dam, drop into the canyon, and we're going to proceed as about 350 to 400 knots and fly through the canyon. We will be then climbing out a vertical climb and recircling, repositioning and doing exactly the same coming the other way, followed by some low level flying over this rather large lake. So anyway, I'm going to shut up and let's go down to altitude. Track IR doing its usual. And there we go. Doing what the F-18 Hornet does best. Low level, flying under the radar. So, what we're going to do now is basically the exact same we've just done, only now we're going to do it in reverse.
And so there you go, the F-18 Hornet doing pretty much what it does best. So now we can sit back, have a nice relaxing flight back into Nellis Air Force Base, which is just beyond the range over there. Typical landing approach for myself in the Hornet would be to descending down to about 3,000 feet or thereabouts for the run-in onto the runway heading,
About halfway down the runway, we'll brake to the right and go into the landing pattern. Once we are downwind of the runway, we shall start getting into the landing position, which will be first of all to put the flaps into the mid setting, followed by the undercarriage. Then we shall be basically repositioning ourselves onto finals for the runway of which we took off on. Trying to keep our altitude above the houses, obviously, don't want to get too low. And bleeding off. And bleeding off as much speed there as we possibly can. Don't know what spike that was, but rather annoying. So altitude now 3,300 and descending. Down for somewhere region of about 3,000. As we now turn in onto runway heading. Clear on the left, clear on the right, clear above, and into the brake. Flaps going down to the mid setting. And retrimming the aircraft. Undercarriage coming down. Track IR doing its usual. We have a nice long runway here at Nellis, so won't have to come down to full flat. Have the runway in sight. Final checks, gear down, flaps mid, speed brake in. speed brake out. And back on the deck. Speed brake set in, flaps are coming up. And we're going to take the taxiway to the left. Nose wheel steering has been engaged. Just watching our speed as we enter the taxiway. So there we go. Flight in the FA-18 Hornet on DCS. So like I said, we will be working up to a display video in the Hornet. This will be filmed from the outside, so it will be a proper air show style video. There will also be videos, obviously, from the cockpit of the manoeuvres. But like I say, we'll be working our way up to a full display. Most likely it will be here at Nellis Air Force Base. We will also be doing some air combat, deploying air-to-ground ordnance. Probably start off with a strafing video using the Hornet's cannon. So there we go. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in a new simulator video very, very soon.